Hello all, Lizlodude back with episode 3 of Nostalgia. So today I believe we will simply get started on upgrading IC2 a bit, so hopefully that won't be so annoying. Going through charcoal a little bit faster than is ideal. I ran around, got some zombie meat so I can get more food, grabbed some other resources, and made a backpack so that I could go mining with the new electric tools, which is basically just a whole bunch of batteries and an electronic circuit. Not overly complicated, just a lot of tin. So, first change is we need some sand. Should be enough. And can go ahead and get some sticky resin processing as well. Got some copper for some reason. Extractor. Some food. And get the sun smelting. Put you away. Also, okay, so we have coal dust, which, if you mix it all together, preferably in a project table, you can get raw carbon fiber, which you can then combine to get carbon mesh, which you can compress, IC2 machines are very slow to start. You get a carbon plate, which, as I said last time, can be used to make the nanosuit, which is very nice. Plus some diamonds, which have some. Probably not enough to get started quite yet, though. There we go, got some glass. So, we need a little bit more tin as well. And make some cells. Then, this appears to be done. So, let's grab the generator. Put it here. Did I get that right? Of course not. Ah, refined iron. Oops. Get some refined iron. Relatively quickly. The electric furnace is really the only thing that is very fast. Again, there we go. And then we have a geothermal generator, which can go back here. And then can grab these cells and run down here to where there is some lava. And start collecting it. Which you just do by right clicking, obviously. Not overly complicated. And look, redstone. Which is actually a pretty good way to dispose of lava, too. Let's grab as much as I can. There we go. And now we've got a good amount of lava cells. And then we can go back up and get them and toss them into the geothermal generator, where they will fill it up, actually somewhat slowly, and that will charge up the battery box, same as the generator. It will also charge faster, and the best thing about it is that it will shut off when it is done, instead of simply wasting coal. It will just stop, which is very convenient. It does unfortunately eat the cells, so there's that. Not exactly the most resource efficient way to do it, but it works. If you wanted to be more efficient, you'd want to use a pump and tanks, but this works fine for starting out. Besides, we have plenty of tin. Anything else that needs to be done? Yay, more cannons. And more rubber. We'll go ahead and throw that in there and extract some more from there. And this will continue running. And then once this is full, just as demonstration, let's pull that out. No, I didn't put that in apparently. It will then stop. So it's not wasting anything, it simply stops. And then if I put some more in, it will flash, which is mildly annoying. But it's a lot more efficient. There's also a pretty good representation of how much power it's actually taking. And if we take some tin and put it in here, you can see that it's now taking a bit more power. If I eat some, it's like a little heart powering the whole system. The longer it's on, the more power it's taking. And that's part of the entire thing. It also produces about twice as much of the power as the generator does, so it can power a lot more things. Hooray. So, now we can begin with the equivalent exchange, or a bit more deeply into it. So first off, you need a transmutation tablet, which requires a philosopher's stone, which requires a glowstone. But we don't have glowstone. How do we get a glowstone? Well, we use that gold dust that I had, and see if I can get that right. Of course not. Sure. There you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Which is not exactly the most efficient way to make that in any way, but it's good to start out if you don't want to get another. So, we make the philosopher's stone diamond. There we go. And then we need some obsidian. Obsidian gotten. Along with some other stuff, but yeah, we're mining some more. So, now that we have the obsidian, we have the philosopher's stone, and now we can make the transmutation tablet, which is the first step in equivalent exchange. And you keep the philosopher's stone, which is also nice. So that thing's kind of cool. You can also make grass, I believe. Just don't happen to have anything else down here. Or you could do that. That also works. So that's nifty. And here we have, let's just skip this real quick. Smelt. I think I actually need 4 for that. Oh well. There you go. And now we have the transmutation tablet. And we can start putting stuff in it, such as tin. and then I can grab 10 out, which is not overly useful. But I can also learn arrows. And then I could put a 10 in, and I could grab some arrows. Quite a lot of arrows, actually. So, put that in, and we can just learn things as we need them. Next up, make the alchemical chest. Requires some covalence dust, coal and charcoal. Along with more covalence dust and more of that. And then do that. Some of that. That. And some of that. And then we can learn all of this. And I'm not sure how we ended up with extra of that. Let's see. I'll go ahead and throw this in here to charge. And as you can see, the geothermal generator then turns on all the way to supply power to charge it. And unfortunately, it charges faster than the geothermal generator can output power, so that will probably die shortly. So, we can now make the alchemical chest relatively easily. And learn diamonds in case we need them. I have a chest laying around. No, I do not. Let's make a chest. Along with a little more iron. And maybe some of that, some of that, some of that. Chest, some stone, iron, one diamond, and we have an alchemical chest. Oops. Which we can learn as well. And this is basically just a gargantuan chest. But it has some other nifty properties. If you, for example, get one of these, which is fairly easy to make. We need string and paper. Paper. That. And then we have one of these. And you can, for example, take this iron armor that I made and throw it in here along with the talisman of repair, and it will repair it. Which is one of the many ways that equivalent exchange is completely overpowered. Because these have EMC values. You could, for example, what it's intended for is to be able to use it, have them be damaged, and then repair them by putting it in the chest. But you could learn the basically completely broken version, repair them all, put them in, exchange them for a completely broken version, and just do that infinitely and just get an infinite amount of EMC. And there are way too many ways to get infinite EMC. So, from the alchemical chest, we can make an energy condenser, which is also awesome. But that requires 4 diamonds. Where do we get 4 more diamonds? We only have 1, 2. This is where tungsten is helpful. As we can put that in there, and look, we can make diamonds. Now we have 4 diamonds. So, we can go ahead and pick this up. And then we can make the energy condenser. Like so. Now we have an energy condenser. And then we can put a target in here. For example, I don't actually have a diamond anymore, but a few of these will work. Put them in here. You'll see we don't get a diamond. But if we start splitting them up, now we can make a diamond. Put the diamond in the target slot. We've already learned all the covalence tests. So, if we put something like, just put that in there. We have all the covalence tests. And then you can simply throw these in here and get energy out of them. These have a bit more energy. And then these should have to almost that of a diamond. And then you can add some gravel. And now we have a diamond again. So, that is where tungsten ore is very useful because it's worth 2 diamonds. And a very large amount of arrows. As you can see, we now have infinite arrows. Yeah. Just another reason that it is fairly overpowered. And of course, we could make another alchemical chest if we wanted, which perhaps we can do. Use some of these sapphires that don't appear to be being used. Just keep adding it until it gets up to alchemical chest, which you can use to make an alchemy bag. And I already have some wool. And some of this. And I forget whether you can actually make this by wrapping around. Maybe you cannot. So, make some black wool. And then, oh, we need some more covalence dust. So let's grab some of that. A little bit more of that in. And grab another. Now, we can make an alchemy bag, which acts basically the same as an alchemical chest, just a bag. Somewhat self-explanatory. And we can go ahead and learn stuff like nickelite, lapis, gunpowder, flint, coal, gold, iron, rubies, copper, tin, anything we want. Just throw it all in. But for some reason you cannot put that in there. I'm not exactly sure why. Actually. That's interesting. I don't know why you can't do that. Huh. Weird. But we can learn everything else. I suppose maybe it's because those can be used as fuel. So we can just grab some iron, maybe some copper, some more arrows, and grab whatever we want. And there you have it. And next we can create the basically battery for equivalent exchange, which is the Klein star. So first off, we have to make some alchemical coal, which is pretty simple to make. Then convert that into Mobius fuel. Grab a diamond. Go ahead and learn that if possible. And then surround the diamond in Mobius fuel, and you have Klein Star. Then you need an antimatter relay, which is a block of diamond surrounded by obsidian, which is less than cheap. I don't think you can learn that. Apparently you can. So you can actually so you don't need an antimatter relay yet. You can simply charge it by putting it here and dumping things into it, and it will then store the charge. So, for example, I can condense this into something a bit more manageable, such as coal. And just get some coal going. And then that can be used to charge this, which then the Archangel Smite can run off. And then you can just get infinity arrows. So then those arrows can be thrown back here. And then these can be thrown into tablet. This can be put in, and we'll absorb all of the EMC. And this is almost done. I can just go ahead and throw these in here. We'll grab coal, throw it in here as well. Right, coal will not work in this for some reason. I'm not sure if that's because it's part of the fuel line or what. I'm not really sure why coal isn't working. I always had in the past, but it's not now, so who knows. And then you can throw the gold in, and then this will absorb it all. And now this serves as the power source for the Archangel Smite. And I just have to recharge that with whatever matter I want. And I basically just have as many arrows as I could ever want. Now, bye. Is when the 10 arrow, like multi-shot thing, comes in handy. Because you can basically one-hit everything. But it does still take some matter. Bye, chicken. And you still end up collecting some arrows. Best part is, it can actually target Endermen. Along with targeting sheep, unfortunately. And they actually fly fast enough to hit Endermen. Yay. And it would not really take that long to get to this, because it takes dark matter. But that is made of diamond blocks surrounded by a bunch of that, which just farming something you could get relatively quickly. Which is why Equipment Exchange is so overpowered. But it's also awesome. So, there you go. So, as that is so overpowered, I'm actually not going to use it to simply produce a gazillion of whatever I want off of some renewable resource. I'm mainly just going to use it to charge the Klein Star and use that for weaponry. But a nice thing is, you can throw in useless things like leaves that I actually wanted some of. And, I don't know, gravel. Maybe some extra cobble. Anything else? Not really. Make sure that's been learned. And then throw it in. And get more matter to the cleanser. Not quite enough. So it functions as a pretty decent trash can. One thing you can do if you're feeling very bored is simply convert that directly to tin. There's no value for smelting, but yet again, I feel like I don't really want to be quite that cheaty. Because you can very easily just get everything with E2. So that about wraps it up for at least the extent that I'm going to be using a Golden Exchange. There are the energy collectors, which are basically the most overpowered part of a Balloon Exchange. They are relatively expensive, but they produce infinite EMC. So especially if you're on a server where you can have a chunk loader, you simply have infinite energy and therefore infinite items of everything with an EMC value, which is a pretty decent amount of the raw resources in the game. As you can see, almost everything, with the exception of ores, has value. Machines and stuff don't, but nonetheless, the parts for them do. I'm going to be staying away from those because, yet again, just a little bit too overpowered. There are the antimatter relays, of which there are 3. They're named incorrectly, which basically allow you to just put items and convert them directly into EMC and then put them directly in a client star, which is nice for automation. I might consider getting a low level one of them, but for the moment this is working well enough. And that's really it. There's not a whole lot more. There's no tab. But there are the red matter and dark matter blocks and tools, along with furnaces, which aren't overly useful. There's incredibly powerful bombs. I believe that keeps mobs from spawning. There's a cute little pedestal that does stuff. And there's the main other things are, there's power rings, which are over here somewhere. There's these, they just do sort of things. Yeah. But that about wraps up for this episode. I think next episode probably, I suppose, build a house and go and get working on some more IC2 infrastructure. Possibly start harvesting that nice huge source of lava up there, leaving of course a little on top to make it still look good. And then I think almost about we're getting pretty close to actually beginning making an automated system for iridium, which can be used to make iridium plates, which can be used to make the quantum armor, which is what I would like before going to the end. And likely can do all of this without even having to go into the end. Speaking of which, I have no gold items. But I can go ahead and crush down some of this, so that I can make some glowstone, which as you can see is not efficient at all. Not even slightly. Because glowstone's 384 and it uses 4 gold dust, which is the equivalent of a diamond. So, yeah. Not overly efficient, but I'm too lazy to go to the nether, so we'll be. So yes, follow me on Twitter if you would like notifications of things. Follow me on Twitch if you would like to see streams. Like the video if you liked the video, comment if you have a comment, and subscribe if you like what I do. Thanks for watching.